We're only 2 weeks into Dutton Ranch, and I am really enjoying what this show is doing right now. It was set up to be a Yellowstone replacement, and I think that's exactly what it's been doing so far. But let's talk about this week's episode, episode 3, which introduced an entirely new problem for Beth and Rip. Full spoilers, you have been warned. The episode started off with a pretty interesting reveal as we learned that Beulah and Everett possibly had some type of relationship in the past. We don't know how long ago it was or how serious it was, but it looks like Beulah is interested, or at least leading on that she may want to rekindle that flame with Everett, and he doesn't seem as interested at all. And that's a really interesting thing to know going forward, because not only is Everett creating a really good dynamic and relationship with both Beth and Rip, but we've been led to believe through the trailers that he chooses Beth and Rip's side when everything starts to boil over between the two ranches. Now, something that I didn't touch on last week but played a much bigger part in this week's episode was Carter and Oriana, and boy oh boy is Carter way in over his head right now. I get it. I completely understand. The poor kid's life has been rough up until this point, and now the it girl is giving him the attention he's never really had. I'm just curious on how far that story is going to go and how far those boundaries are going to be pushed, especially because she is a Jackson. I have no doubt that Beth and Rip are going to reel him in and probably do it pretty quickly, but the thing that I'm most curious about with that plot point is what happens with Beth and Rip's son dating Beulah Jackson's granddaughter and how that impacts everything. Now, quickly, because I mentioned her again, we did see Beulah have a phone call with the man that I believe is Joaquin's father, the man that she says has no say in the ranch because it's her domain, but it sure as hell feels like he's a little bit more involved than she's leading us on to believe. And just sticking with the theory I had in my other video on Dutton Ranch, I definitely think that this character is connected to the cartel. But on to the big thing that happened in the episode, and something that will for sure carry over into the rest of the season. Dutton Ranch was hit with a case of foot and mouth disease, otherwise known as FMD. FMD is basically a highly contagious viral disease that primarily hits cloven-hoofed animals, and even though it is early, it has already left its mark on Beth and Rip's cattle. And because it is so early, we don't exactly know how much it's going to impact them, but with Beth already out slinging deals for the ranch, this could end up being a massive setback. Like I said, I am really enjoying Dutton Ranch so far. I like the main characters they've put around Beth and Rip. I like our supporting characters. It really does feel like early days of Yellowstone, which is more than what we asked for. But of course, I want to hear what you think. Let me know your thoughts on episode 3 below and where you stand with Dutton Ranch so far.